Good afternoon, friends. My name is Alena Shautsova. I am an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about recent news about the new travel ban. The Trump administration decided to impose on 6 new countries. As you're probably aware, there are already some countries that are subject to travel ban. Nationals of those countries cannot come into the United States in most capacities without waivers. So now we have new countries, and these countries, nationals of these countries, will not be able to come on immigrant visas. Immigrant visas. They will not be able to come to the United States starting February 21st, 2020. So this is a new travel ban that on the list of the countries are Nigeria, for example, Kyrgyzstan. There were reports that Belarus, country where I'm from, was originally on the list but then was scratched off. Myanmar or Burma, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Sudan, Tanzania, Eritrea. Mostly African countries from the African region, and Asia too. So the explanation for this new travel ban was that these countries are violating security protocols and don't provide the necessary information that would permit the vetting for the applicants. Also, they explained that why they focus this time on immigrant visas is because it's harder to deport somebody who comes to the United States on the immigrant visa compared to non-immigrant visa. But here is the situation. It's very easy to deny a non-immigrant visa application. All the consulate has to do is to find a person inadmissible due to immigrant intent or lack of ties with the home country, and then the applicant receives 214B rejection, and there is no waiver for it. So it's 1, 2, 3, and there is no waiver for it. LegalNet visa office that oversees how the consulates are complying with the rules and laws usually would not overturn the denial under 214B. Even sometimes it happens, but usually not. So basically, applicants from those countries will not be able to come if Trump administration will not want them to come. That's how it goes. There are some exceptions, of course. For example, people who are already permanent residents, they will not be affected. People who have visas who enter the United States will not be affected, but most new applicants will be affected. And of course, it comes as a surprise to those whose interviews, for example, were scheduled on date after February 21st. Because if your interview in an immigrant visa interview is scheduled prior to February 21st, your goal would be to get prepared to that interview very well, get your visa as fast as you can, and enter the United States prior to February 21st. Because these new rules, they can be applied at the border as well, okay? So that's something that you need to be aware of. Your goal would be to get the visa and come in as soon as you can. But if you can't, unfortunately, the only other option would be, and you don't fall into an exception, the only other option for you would be is to try to seek a waiver. And waivers are hard to receive. Because if they were easy to receive, the travel ban would not have any meaning, right? Then anybody can just file for the waiver. I posted on my website a detailed explanation about this new travel ban, and questions and answers as to which countries are affected, if I didn't pronounce them right, when the start date for the new travel ban, what to expect, basically how it's going to affect applicants, and so on. So what I believe is going to happen is that shortly, as always, a lawsuit will be filed. And perhaps this ban will be stayed for some time. And during that time, usually applicants will be able to go through the normal process without having to file for waivers and so on. Eventually, my prediction would be that it will be upheld just like the recent one. So you need to be prepared for that. I also hope that Nigeria, which is like a huge country and wealthy, will be taken off that list. I believe that the president of Nigeria already spoken that they will do everything possible to address these concerns, because it's, from what I understand, what I know, it's the largest economy in Africa. So basically to say to them that you can't come on employment visas, because immigrant visas are not only family-based, they can be investment-based, they can be employment-based. So that's pretty heavy. So we'll see what's going to happen. For now, unlike in previous situations, we have a warning as to when exactly the ban is going to take effect. Of course, it's a funny warning, because basically for immigrant visas, interviews are scheduled in advance, right? So it's easy to overcome this warning, because if the interviews are scheduled, for example, to after the date, the person will fall into the ban's ruling. So that's where we stand with the ban, the new ban right now. And again, on my website, www.shautsova.com, I posted questions and answers about the ban, about the waiver, who is exempt from the ban, and the main things that you need to know about it. And I will keep you updated if any countries will be taken off the list, or if the ban will be stayed, and things like that. Thank you for watching.